Hey guys, Jonathan Stringer here, coming to you again for another episode of Wednesday Wisdom. And guys, tonight I want to go a little bit different direction than what I typically go. It's a little bit different this time. This episode, typically I try to bring things to people's attention, things that can help them be successful in life, things that can help them improve their life on an all-around sense. And I guess this kind of falls into it. But more importantly, I think that this falls into a being a better person sense. You know, being a better person. That's really the only way to put it. And it really hits home because, as you can see from the title, the most harmful words that I've ever heard used. And the scary thing about it, the most terrible thing about it is that you've probably said them. And how do I know that? Because I've said it. I've heard pretty much everybody say it. I don't think I've ever heard somebody that hasn't said these words. And that's the scariest part about this episode, is that everybody is affected by this. Okay, so I want to start out with a story, okay? And this story, a real story, something that I did. You know, I went and I remember it was a few months ago, several months ago, probably about a year ago almost. And I was out with my wife, who was then at the time my fiance, and we were getting some pictures taken. And we happened to be at this park. It was just a regular park. We were getting some pictures taken. Kind of the start to our engagement photos. And while we were there, as we were leaving, we saw these kids playing and they're going around the corner. All of a sudden we saw one of them disappear. And this other kid was sitting on top of a trash can. He was just sitting on there. And I could see the lid kind of bumping up a little. And I was like, what? And you know, I turned to my wife, did he just put a kid? Did they just put a kid in there? There's a group of them. You know, did they just put a kid in there? And the other kids were laughing and everything, banging on the trash can. And I was like, what's going on? You know, and we were getting ready to drive away thinking, you know, maybe they're just playing. I don't know, maybe they're playing. And then I thought about it. No, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to say something. And so I got out of the car, I walk over there, and I was like, hey, is there somebody in there? And the kids were like, yeah. And I was like, hey, get off the trash can, let them out. You know, and the kids get out, and I was like, that's messed up, guys. You can't be doing that. You know, that could hurt somebody. Somebody could, you know, really get sick. It could, you know, I just listed a couple different things that could happen. You know, locking a kid in a trash can, not cool. Especially because I could hear the kid as I was getting closer. He was saying, hey, let me out. And I was like, wow, that's messed up. And the kid gets out of the trash can. And I was like, wow. You know, these kids, they looked at me and they go, we were just playing with them. We were just messing around. And that right there is the most harmful words. That right there is the worst words I've ever heard. Because they always follow some sort of act of meanness, of bullying, of just negativity. And there's different ways to say it. I was just messing around. I was just playing. Don't take it so seriously. You're too sensitive. Things like that. And I think, you know, we, as a society, we have gotten into this sense of, well, I've got to be tough. I've got to man up. I've got to just be able to take it. But in reality, and I'm not saying that, you know, there aren't places in our lives where some people do get a little oversensitive, okay? And I'm not touching on that. What I'm touching on is there are people, we're mean people a lot of times to those that are closest to us, especially those kids. It was their friend. But how often do we go to family members? Do we go to close friends? Do we go to the people that we work with? And we rag on them. You know, we tell them something. Oh man, you need to do a better job. You suck at that. You know, and we might say it jokingly. Oh man, you suck at talking to people. You suck at doing your job. Or, oh man, you know, there's so many different ways, guys. It's hard to think of. I mean, right now, like, I've just got a lot of thoughts going through my mind around this. So the examples aren't coming to me. But essentially we just say something negative to that person. You know, they come up to us, oh yeah, this is what I'm doing. Don't get your hopes up. It's just you. You know, like, what? And like, oh, I'm just kidding. No, you'll be great at it. But the damage was already done. Guys, and this might be an overused analogy, but I want you to picture right now, okay, go and maybe your grandma, and I don't know if any of you guys have grandmas that were collectors like china or anything like that, but you know, she's got some fine china, she's got a plate that just, she passed it on to you after she passed away, all right, and you keep this, it's a keepsake, all right. Maybe even think of it this way, maybe, you know, it's the one thing that you have that allows you to remember her. And you're sitting there and you love this thing, okay? So I want you to go and I want you to just grab it and throw it on the ground. Just throw it, let it shatter, gone. And I want you to pick it up, all the different pieces, pick it up, glue it back together, look at that plate and be like, I was just kidding, don't take it so hard. I didn't really mean to throw you on the ground and break you. But I want you to look at the plate and be like, is it still the same? Even though you glued everything together. Even though you apologized to it. Even though you maybe really didn't mean to do it. But you still did it. The damage was done. Okay? And everybody's probably heard the paper ball analogy. You take a piece of paper, you crumble it up, right? You flatten it back out. There is no way to get those wrinkles back out of that paper. There's no way. And those wrinkles, they're permanently there. They forever impacted that piece of paper. All right? And that's the same way that we're treating our friends and our family. We're going out there and we're bullying them. We're putting them down. And then whenever they finally get kind of fed up with it and they point it out, or maybe they get down about it, and you can see it in their posture. You can see it in their demeanor. And they just start to get down. They start to get sad. Maybe their voice drops a little, like, oh, yeah. And then you go, oh, no, I'm just kidding. It's not, well, I'm not really meaning that. I didn't really mean that you suck at your job. I didn't really mean that you're not a good sibling. I didn't really mean that you can't be successful. I didn't really mean I can't trust you. I was just kidding. All right? And this is huge. Between husband and spouse, I feel like guys do it a lot more maybe. And maybe it's because I'm a guy, so I see it from guys all the time. And it bugs me because I see guys and they'll say something to their wife. And they're just like, oh no, I'm just kidding. I didn't really mean it like that, sweetheart. Don't take it so hard. But the damage was done. Maybe you just told your wife, you know, oh man, if you're watching a movie and a hot girl walks across the screen, man, I wish you looked like that. Wow, how do you think that makes her feel? You just told your wife that, I don't really like the way you look right now. Wish you looked better. And so you just took a little piece of her respect. You just took a little piece of her self-confidence, a little piece of her integrity, and you just threw it out the window. You just took a piece of your integrity as well and threw it out the window. Guys, the most harmful words, because of what they follow, is I'm kidding. I didn't mean it that way. Don't take it so hard. All those different variations. And I know this is, usually I'm kind of fun, I'm upbeat and everything, guys, but this is huge. And it's something I've been seeing a lot lately. And I've been hearing about a lot. We have got to take ourselves as individuals, as people, as friends, as families, as groups, as businesses, as co-workers, as churches and communities. We've got to take ourselves to another level. We've got to leave behind that petty thinking and speaking. Because the thing is, we only say a small part of what we think. Even the most honest people hold back. So whenever you're saying those things and all of a sudden you say, oh no, I'm kidding. Just kidding. Don't take it so hard. You really meant it to some degree. You might be trying to lie to yourself and saying that you're just kidding, but you did mean it to some degree. For the coworker that, talks down to their coworkers, really you've got a bit of contempt between you and them. Maybe something about them just bugs you, it irks you, and so that's your way of getting a shot in. For the family members, maybe you're holding a grudge on something that they said or they did a while back, and so that's, again, your way of getting your shot in. Okay? For the spouse that's like, oh, I wish you looked like that. You may not realize it, but that's taking your mind to a place that you don't want to go. You're going all of a sudden, and it's more than just being like, oh, they look good. This is like an attack. This is a hit on the person, okay? So it's a whole different, I'm not trying to say if you look at someone and you say, oh, wow, they look good. Oh, hey, sweetheart, their hair looks good. That's not saying, oh, yours looks bad. It's when you compare them. It's when you say, I wish you were them. I wish you had that aspect about them. I wish this, and you're saying that they're here and the person that is over here, okay? Does that make sense? It's saying that like your spouse is here, but the person you wish they were is up here. And so you're essentially saying, I like them better. Same as when you're the boss and you're talking to your employees. Wow, why can't you be hardworking like the past employees? Wow, like that. Thanks for being appreciative of my work, for being appreciative of my contribution, everything that I'm doing to help you out. You don't realize it, but it's tearing people apart. We do it all the time, and the reason, guys, I've done it before. I slip up and I do it from time to time. I say something that I think is a joke to me. I mean it as a joke when I'm saying it, but then I think about it, I'm like, oh my gosh. I guess to some degree, maybe I meant something behind it, so that I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to reevaluate the way I'm speaking, the way I'm thinking, so that way I can correct it in the future. Because nobody's perfect. I'm not saying that you're going to be perfect. I'm not saying that we're never going to slip up. But we have got to take ourselves, we got to be more accountable to ourselves and take ourselves to another level, guys. Another level of respect, another level of love, another level of compassion and kindness. And when we do that, when we do that, we'll start to heal as a community, as a family, as a nation. And it's huge, but it all starts with not saying things that we're just going to follow up with, oh, I'm just kidding. Because all you did was just take that china plate that your grandma had given to you, the only thing that helps you remember him or remember her, you just throw it on the ground. You just shattered it. And you just tried to pick up the pieces and put them together and pretend like nothing happened. That's not how we should be acting, guys. I hope that this helps somebody. I hope that maybe it points out something to you, that maybe you can see an aspect in your life that you can get better, that you can see an aspect that you can help somebody else with. Don't be like the kids who trap their friend in a trash can, who's screaming to get out for help, and all of a sudden you just say, oh, we're just kidding. Don't throw your friends and your family and your coworkers in the proverbial trash can. Don't lock them in there and let them out and say, oh, I'm just kidding. Didn't mean to be mean. Don't do that. Don't let yourself go there. Don't do it. Become better. Become more. I hope you guys have an amazing night. And thank you for joining me. Thanks for watching the video. Have a wonderful night, guys. Can't wait to talk to you next Wednesday for another episode of Wednesday Wisdom.